Okay, we're here in the shop today, and what I thought we would do is show you how I make these connectors for cars that don't have them. The cabooses, little cabooses, I like to join together into a little train and shoot them around the track every once in a while. But unfortunately, they only have a connector on one side, so you can't really join them together. You got one connector here, but the other side is barren. I made a connector you can use out of a plastic container top, and it's fairly easy to do, and I thought I'd take you through the steps on how I do it, and then you can connect your trains together in similar fashion. You can use them on other cars too. You don't necessarily have to use them on cabooses. Okay, so let's put that aside for now, and let me switch back to this area here so you can see what I'm doing. Alright, I use cottage cheese containers. Blueberry is a pretty good flavor, but you can try others if you like. It doesn't really matter what type you do use. What you need is the inner circle with a lip all around the edge. It makes it nice and convenient. And what I do is I take it and I just sort of eyeball it. I don't really measure it or anything, but I take my scissors and I make a cut from the edge using these little markers here, from the edge right to the center. Okay, then you take another marker here and you do another one, leaving it so that you have a bit of material when you get to the center also. Okay, so I've cut a wedge now that is going to be our connector for our cars. Just cut that off. There you go. I've done several others here, as you can see. Now, what you need is a little slot here that you can make by a little tab, actually. And you take your scissors and you measure it about a little more than 1/4 of an inch, maybe a 1/2 inch, depending on how big you made the base for this, and clip it. Okay, and then you do that again. Actually do this on the other side. So you cut that right off. Okay, hopefully you can see this all right. Better check my camera. Yeah, okay. Then you do the same thing on the other side. Measure in so that you have a little tab in the middle, and make your cut, and then trim that off. You don't line it up right, it becomes a little more difficult, but not impossible. Okay, so you've got a tab here on the end of your connector. This, of course, is going to go into one of the slots, the slot and tab connector, like that, after you install it in your caboose. Now, installation on the caboose is relatively easy. There are two types of these that I've run into. One has just a little hole for another connector there, but obviously there is no connector. That's a handy one to use. The other one has a bent out tab and slot, which makes it a little more difficult, but it can be done. But let's use this one as our example today. All right, so let's open up the caboose by pushing the tabs aside. Okay, now we also have a little railing over here, which you probably should take off also. There's two little tabs for that on the inside here. Just got to straighten them out a little bit. You might need to do that with some pliers. Just turn them as straight as you can get them. And then just pop off the base from the cart. And now they should easily pop right off. There we go. Okay, put that aside for now. Alright, this is what we need right here. This is the bottom. We're going to take our tab that we cut, and I'm going to go over to the drill press and drill a 1/4 inch hole toward the end. Okay, I drilled a hole on the end, about a 1/4 inch round, and that's going to be for our slot connector inside the caboose. Now, what are we going to use? Well, we're going to use these little paper fasteners. Okay, these come in pretty handy for doing this kind of work. And what we'll do is we'll take our connector here, slide it through the slot in the back there, and then just run the paper connector right through there into the other hole in the caboose. A little awkward here to work, but watch it with the camera. Okay, you get that through there. Hold it with your finger while you separate the two paper fastener clips down and press them with a screwdriver so that they flatten out nicely. And you now have your new slot connector. Now, this one I made a little wide, but I think it's got enough play in it so that it'll be able to handle the corners. If not, you want to trim that a little bit thinner. I think what we're going to do is do that right now rather than have to try to come back later and fix it up. Okay, we'll make this a little bit thinner here. Trimming that down. And there. Okay, that's nice and thin now. There we go. Back in the slot. Back in the saddle again. Okay. Press those down. And we have a nice moving slot. Tab. We don't have a slot here, but we do have a tab. And you only need one for one side of the engine, or one side of the cart. Like this. Okay, it'll fit in there very nicely. And you have another second connector now. Okay, the next step is now to put the cart back together again. Not too difficult. Just take your tabs, slide them in to the slots. Okay. Nicely in place. Put your tabs back down again. Like this. And we have our new tab connector ready to go. Alright, well, it's a simple little project. Not too difficult to do. Only takes a few minutes. And you can attach as many of these cars as you like together now, and you can still use them as a regular caboose too, of course. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching this and maybe have some use for it. And if you like this video, click the like button and subscribe, and who knows what other ideas might come down the road. Thank you for watching.